Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are discovering transformation, and this is part of CSS 3 and it's really great. So I've created a div inside of my body tag, and I already have linked my style sheet, which is in the folder CSS, style CSS, and I have created a little style for each div, which is on our web page. And if we load this page, it looks something like this. Alright, so we have a margin, a width, and a height, and a background color. Alright, now we can do have 5 different functions to transform this div. Okay, so every browser has its own needs, so we have 3 different properties for different browsers. So we have the MS transform function for Internet Explorer 9, the WebKit transformation for Safari, and the transform for every other browser. Alright, so now I show you the different functions. So we have a scale function, which allows us to scale the x-axis and the y-axis, so the height and the width of our div. Then we have the translate function, which allows us to translate our div on the x and the y axis. Then we have the rotate function, which allows us to rotate our div by a certain degree. Then we have the skew function, which allows us to skew our div on the x and the y axis. Alright, and then we have the matrix function. On the A and the D, we have the scale x and the scale y function. Then we have on B and C the skew function for x and y. And then we have the translate x and the translate y function. Alright, so let's save this, and we're grabbing our first function, which is the scale function. Alright, so let's take a look what happens if we scale this x and y for 2 times. So we're reloading our page, it gets twice the height and the width. So we say 3 for y now and save it, and it gets 3 times as high as it is and 2 times the width as it is. Alright, so that's great. So now let's take a look at our translate function, and we are translating our div 230 pixels on x and y axis. Alright, so we're reloading our page, and you see 300 pixels from its real position and 30 pixels from its top position. Alright, then we have the rotate function, and we're trying to rotate our div by 45 degrees. And we're reloading our page. It's rotating 45 degrees, as you see here. And you simply write rotate and 45 DEG, which stands for degrees. Then we have the skew function, and there is also the degrees for the x and y skew. So you see we're trying to skew our div a little bit. And then we have the matrix, which is everything in one, or almost everything in one. So let's take a look at it. And you see it gets 3 times 1. We can translate our transform our div as we want. This is 1 1, and now we're having the translate x and the translate y function, you see, and then we can translate it a little bit, and you see we translated 20 pixels from the top and 20 pixels from the left. So that's it for this video. I hope you liked this video. If so, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel, and we'll see us in the next video. Bye!